p.m. was here in Bogota, so midnight in Venezuela. The death toll was set at 32, but unfortunately, we do believe that that number will be growing and rising in the upcoming hours. In particular, most of the damages seem to be concentrated in the state of La Guaira, that is north to the capital, Caracas, pretty much sandwiched between the coast and the city itself, and that is where Delcy Rodriguez told us last night that dozens of buildings have collapsed in these two separate earthquakes, one within 40 seconds of the other, that both hit the northern coast of Venezuela with a dramatic effect. And you mentioned the Brazilian Amazon. We are here in the Andes, up in the Colombian capital, about 800 miles from Caracas itself, and we felt it here in Bogota. We felt it strong, so we can only imagine how badly it was felt down in the Venezuelan capital, where hundreds, if not thousands, of people have slept or spent the night roughly on the street, because the authorities have made a plea not to go back into their homes, given the presence of aftershocks, and because the infrastructure of the buildings in Venezuela is so fragile as a consequence of the economic crisis that have been hitting that country for the last 10 to 15 years. Yesterday, for example, our team in Caracas was able to speak with the son of Nicolas Maduro. Nicolas Maduro being, of course, the former authoritarian president who has been removed from office by the United States in January. Well, his son, who is also called like him, Nicolas Maduro Jr., he told us, for example, that one of the main worries is that the buildings are not prepared to sustain an earthquake. Most of Caracas was built in the 1950s and 60s, and pretty much for the last 20 years there has been close to little renovation on most of the buildings, be that hospitals, be that basic infrastructure, houses, buildings, highway, or even bridges. And so that's why he was so concerned that the aftershocks could be even more damaging than those two previous earthquakes that, by the way, hit at 6 p.m. in the afternoon on a public holiday. Yesterday was a public holiday in Venezuela. A lot of people were either at home or out in the street, and this is also another factor of concern. p.m. was here in Bogota, so midnight in Venezuela. The death toll was set at 32, but unfortunately, we do believe that that number will be growing and rising in the upcoming